سخنران بعدی ما فعال دانشجویی سوسیالیست، سردبیر نشریات متعدد دانشجویی از جمله گون، پیش و دانشگاه و مردم، خانم پریسا نصرآبادی هستند. خانم نصرآبادی بیش از چند ماه نیست که از کشور خارج شدن و راه دوری رو برای پیوستن به ما در این گردهمایی طی کردن. ازشون متشکرم. بفرمایید.
Mousavi and the reformists were caught up in the middle of the mass movement and had no other choice but to follow it. But we, the socialists, always distance ourselves from them. They offer no alternative. They are part of the regime. They have no solution to the situation that workers, women, students, and other oppressed people are facing. This is part of Parisa Nasrabadi's interview by the Committee of Workers International, and needless to say, she is a socialist students activist. She is also editor-in-chief of Gavan, University and People, the Pish Students magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, Parisa Nasrabadi.
Thank you very much. I say hello to everybody who is participating in this seminar. Organization, both strategy and tactic in the student movement. Student movement in Iran is in a super sensitive period of time, which has not been experienced after the 1979 revolution. Now, all of these struggles have faced a new condition and situated in a different phase. It's clear that the battle against Islamic dictatorship is continued in the most conscious and widespread form. Therefore, general goal of this protest movement, which different classes and groups of people autonomously follow it, is the battle with dominant dictatorship. Before the fraudulent election, the student movement just mobilized parts of student bodies by diffused, impermanent, temporary protest, and attempted by covering various political, economical, and social ones to activate the silent majority of people. But now, student movement is not just like an island in the ocean of discontinuous battles. It's an important part of a battle complex. Now is the first time after 30 years that the students repeat the slogans of the people, which has entered from the street to the universities. It means that the battle of students and people is integrated, and by contrast the former, the universities are following the great movement of people. In other words, in this recent new situation, a student movement without the general movement of people against dictatorship is meaningless. The universities are under the terrible pressure by coup state security forces. Many students of Iran's universities have been arrested by the Islamic Republic's regime during the past weeks. Arresting and kidnapping students from their dormitories, universities, and even their homes continues. The repression of students began in the days leading up to the Student Day on 7th December. And in most universities, students are protesting and organizing strikes against the oppression by the regime. But all the students are decisive to go on the protest, especially on Student Day. Historically, we have seen that organization plays a significant role to appraise the level of battles, wants, and slogans. Independent and massive organization is both strategy and tactic in the new situation for all of the workers, women, teachers, and students movement. Without these organizations, any activity will be residual, and finally, there will be no possibility to continue the struggle. Another essential point that shall be mentioned is to consider youth and student organization outside of Iran as necessary as inside. After the Confederation experience, now we perceive the lack of such an organization to mobilize students and youth out of the abroad from Iran. Considering the political defeats of capitalist states in military political projects from the beginning of the 21st century and also recent expanding of the economical crisis, many different protest movements has activated against the governments. And undoubtedly, the student movement will be the vanguard all around the world. Formation of many new youth and student campaign and organizations, especially in European countries, confirm this claim. At last, this is the function and duty of all youth, students, and especially socialist activists outside of Iran to organize themselves to create a similar experience like the Confederation of Iranian Students Abroad, which had established on the progressive target of a student movement against dictatorship and in solidarity support and effective interference in the student and mass movement inside of Iran. Only with this organization in and outside of Iran, we can expose the compromising line, alarm about reformism, and make the liberal paradoxes transparent within the mass movement of people in Iran. It's our obligation to reveal any point of view which is attempting to deprive the radicalism of this movement, to make it neuter and divert the progressive movement of people in Iran. We were a powerful mass movement of people in Iran. We were a united battle against dictatorship. We were socialism. Thank you very much.